Hello everybody, my name is James, I'm still on the duck, and welcome back to yet another episode here on the Dogcraft Server. This episode we are out here on the surface, we are outside of the TARDIS because I want to be working on these buildings a little bit. Yes, today I want to do some work on these because eventually this world will go as I've said before, and that's fine, our TARDIS will be fine because we can just take our TARDIS with us to the next world. By which, of course, I mean I can just rebuild the TARDIS in the next world, block for block, and it should be fine. The outside of the TARDIS area here, obviously, will probably be different because the terrain will not be the same, and I'll probably figure out some other kind of area to build instead of a Victorian London kind of vibe that we're going for here. There is quite a bit to do, I don't know how big it's going to be, but it was a couple of episodes ago where I said about this, so I'll quickly say about it now. This will be the River Thames. There'll be some kind of frost fair on it, so there'll be stalls of some kind. That bit I don't think will be too difficult to do once I actually do it, but what I do want to make sure that gets done is the buildings. I've not really done a lot of it so far. We've done this brick, which I really like. We've done the stone bricks, which I don't like quite as much, but I still think it looks fine. Then obviously there will be another building in this corner and another building in that corner. The interiors will come later. The main thing I want to get done is the outsides of all of the buildings. This wall at the moment is very flat. I'm going to add windows just like there are here, and probably some kind of like smaller entrance to get into the building, like a side entrance, just to add something else to go here. And then there'll be another building here, which is what I'm going to be doing first. And then the same thing will get replicated in these other squares as well, where there'll be 4 corners of a building, 4 corners of a building. And then along these bits right next to the river, there isn't room for a building of that size. So there'll probably be smaller buildings, and then it'll be some kind of promenade to walk along. Not entirely sure what yet, but maybe some kind of like what's the word? Foliage. Some kind of foliage, some small bushes, and something nice to walk along next to the wall, so that hopefully you can look over and see the river, and hopefully it will all look very, very nice. But what I also do need to do is I need to, just so we get an idea of the kind of size that these bits in between the paths are going to have to be, I want to get the rest of the, what's the word? The border for these paths in all the way along, just like this. And of course this also includes the slab path that we are putting behind the stairs, which will restrict the space even more. It's not as noticeable on this bit, but it was noticeable on this square when I put the slabs in, and I imagine it will be also pretty noticeable on this square as well once I've got them down. And there we go. And obviously with the corner bits like this, where the path would have gone like that and left a small gap here, I'm just going to fill it because there's no point obviously having like a tiny piece of wall coming out of this one gap here. It just looked visually weird. Done the same in this situation over here, just so it doesn't look too weird having a kind of bit jutting out randomly. These 2 blocks here. But yeah, not that having this little path here makes a huge difference to the size of this square, because it is already a pretty decently big square. But it should just help giving a little bit of idea for the size that these buildings are going to have to be. Luckily, I think that the height isn't too big compared to the width. I think it's a good height. I'm hoping that it will still look alright when I figure out how to do the roof, but I reckon it should be fine. Worst case scenario, we might have to make it like another segment of these taller once we have the roof. It just kind of depends what kind of roof we are going to go for and what it's going to look like when we do it. Mud blocks, black concrete powder, whoops, and a little bit of regular deep slate as well. So these walls I've actually been doing in slightly different ways. That one over there I did moving my scroll wheel to try and randomly pick blocks as I was going, and then this one I just kind of eyeballed it as I was building it. With this one, however, what I'm going to try and do is I'm just going to place the entire wall of deep slate bricks, and then we can try and add in the variation manually. Because I feel like that might be a decent way to go, and definitely better than using the scroll wheel, because the issue is when you try and use real randomness, it ends up looking fake because you end up with pieces clumped together, because real randomness is weird and doesn't look as good as fake randomness, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Also just need to make sure that I'm placing the deep slate like this and not like that, because that definitely looks wrong. This is correct. Get rid of that. So then obviously all of these buildings have this kind of, I don't know what it's called, there's probably an actual word for it, but like the separator bit between each kind of floor of the building. And so for consistency's sake this one needs it too, but I'm not entirely sure what to do it with. I think I forgot that you sink into mud. How far down am I? Oh, 8th of a block, fair enough. Wow. Sorry, I'm just completely flabbergasted by that. I completely forgot that was a thing. Wow. That's a noticeable dip. Wowza. Anyway, yes, so I'm not entirely sure what to do it with for this building palette. So what I think I'm going to do is stone and smooth stone. I'm not entirely certain, but I think that that is probably going to look okay. I did consider using smooth sandstone. I'd need to ignore the cut sandstone. I need to smelt some regular sandstone. But I did consider using the smooth sandstone because I found a picture of a building that was like a Victorian building that was this kind of color, and it had kind of like a real pale yellow. But I don't know if that was just the like color grading of the show that it was on. So we're going to try stone and smooth stone, and we'll see how that looks. We can change it later. We probably will. But for now, we're just going to have to see how this looks. And yeah, I don't love it. Don't love that. Too much of a contrast between that and that. You know what, I'm going to do the rest of the wall and probably this wall as well, and then hopefully we can figure out what is better suited, because I am really rather uncertain. Okay, I did it. I finished this, and I also did this one. So this one's fine. I like the walls themselves. I still don't know how I feel about the bits in between with the stone and the smooth stone, but I think it's growing on me a little bit. We'll leave it for now. And I've also done this corner one. We just did the bricks, same on the opposite corner, because I ran out of ideas for the wall textures. To be honest with you, I couldn't think of a fourth one, so I just did this one again. It might just have to be these three same variants around the rest of the area, unless I can think of another one, but we're gonna have to see. And then if I just fly over here, you can see that we have done the roof of this as well. I don't love it, but I do not have any other ideas. I like the tough bricks. I think the tough bricks are fine. And you can see it kind of goes in a little bit. And like I thought that was a good idea. And then I looked at it from down here. And I don't think it's a good idea anymore at all. So I'm going to undo that. And it might just have to be flat, but then it won't be flat because we'll have like, you know, windows and like jutting out bits like this. And I think it will look okay. Maybe we have an overhang. The only issue is that we have a daylight sensor here, so we can't have an overhang in this corner unless we use like a trapdoor or something else that's a transparent block to let the let the daylight through for this lamppost. We will obviously have interiors for these, but they'll come later. I'm not in a massive rush to do that because interiors of big buildings like this is a whole separate job. So I'm just going to close the doors for now, and we're not going to worry too much about it. The other thing that I want to talk about right now, which is very, very exciting to me, is that the Dogcraft server has been updated to 1.21. You know what that means? Pale oak. I went to the shop, bought some pale oak saplings, got very confused when the singular sapling didn't grow no matter how much bone meal I put into it, googled it, found out that it's meant to be a 2x2, just like spruce and dark oak, and now we have a pale oak tree. I also did buy, where is it? Ah, there it is. A block of resin. So now, oh, I didn't realize that I was installing with your fist. I thought it's squishy. It has a squishy sound. I don't like it. I thought it was gonna be hard. It looks hard. Don't know how I feel about that, but okay. Anyway, yes. So we are gonna, you know, build some kind of farm for the resin because it's a nice block, good material. And so obviously I only need to buy the one, and then we can make a creeping heart, and then we can farm it up. And also I need to tell you guys, I love this. Whoa, like wow. Like, you know, some things have particles. The cherry blossom biome has some particles, and they're lovely and stuff. But like these leaves, I love them. They're so good. I love it so much. Anyway, yeah. So obviously, I am very excited as well about having a new grey block, as everyone else is. But white planks. Oh, look at it. It's kind of an off-white. It's slightly pink. I do wonder, how is this gonna look? Because I still haven't put a door into this. Does that look okay? I mean, I think that looks alright. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe? Okay, I'm going to leave it as this, and we'll see if it grows on me, because it probably will. But yeah, maybe spruce might be better. I just really wanted to see how the doors looked, to be honest. But yeah, even if they don't go here very well, I love them, and I think they look great. And we definitely will be able to use them somewhere, because they are very, very pretty. And if we can't use them, then I will make somewhere specifically to use them, because I am determined to use them, and all the other new blocks that we have in this update. Speaking of which, one of the blocks that I've been most excited for in this update is the tough bricks. Also, do you guys like my new cape? I changed it. I didn't realize that I had the option for the cherry blossom cape, and I like it. It's pink. It's a nice pink. It's much better than the Optifine cape, and like, you know, the plain no texture elytra. It's pink. Anyway, yeah. So the block that I was looking forward to most for this update is the tough bricks. Because in my head, the tough bricks, even though there's not much difference, they just looked a lot better. For this wall that we have either side of the river, And so what I want to do, even though it seems like a lot of effort for not much of a difference, I want to replace all of this with tough bricks. It also means I have to go gather a bunch of tough. It might be better just to like scatter it throughout, maybe do it like half and half, but I'm not sure yet. Can this Enderman chill out? What's going on? Is it just this guy? I have an Enderman in a boat that I've just kind of been keeping here, and like he has teleport particles around him all the time. I think he's trying to teleport away but can't. See? I think it's him. And I have decided to keep him. He's basically my friend now. He's been here long enough. But yeah, I'm gonna try and replace most, if not all of this with tough bricks. It's a small change, but I feel like it's gonna look better. It's gonna look much more like the picture that I have in my head. So unfortunately, I think that it is worth it. So I'm gonna do that at some point. I don't know when, but at some point, I'm sure. Oh, last thing, we also have the autocrafter, which is great. Not that we have many farms that we can like use it for yet, but autocrafter. So it's here when we do need it, when we do want to use it, because we definitely will want to use it, certainly. Oh, yeah, okay, so yeah, that is much better. Take the skies once more, and we can sit on the side, and like, this side doesn't look good anyway, because like we've also, it's difficult having this window here, because of, you know, the corner bit, where the block goes in. But if I don't have that window there, then it's going to look weird anyway. Not sure what to do about that. But yeah, this definitely looks better being flush rather than trying to go in. It still doesn't look good on this side, but this side looks fine because it's got all the extra details. I just need to do those extra details on this side of the wall as well. And then also, obviously need to do those details all the way around here. Oh, and now it's snowing. Very quickly. Sleep time. The roof, I went for tough bricks and regular tough. I was going to do deep slate tiles. Because, you know, tiled roofs and everything, and it's meant to be darker than the rest of the building, but like I don't want it to be too dark in comparison. So I've gone with tough bricks. We're gonna see how it feels. I don't love it. Maybe it's not tall enough. Maybe it's too jaggedy. Maybe it needs to be smoother. I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna have to think about it. Luckily, we can just ignore the roof for the most part because we're not going to see it from down here anyway. But yeah, I will try and figure out how to make it look better because it does not look good, sadly. Just went back to my starter village to get some more food, and like I do like how the sides of this look when I fly back in. It's much better now that it's been completed. Well, I say completed. It's there. It's not done, but you know, it is in fact there and solid and existing. So one thing I did want to show you guys really quickly is the current map of the TARDIS interior. In my imaging editing software, I have just laid out the rooms of the TARDIS. And obviously we don't have much so far, we just have the console room here, storage room up here, the Iron Mage's chamber down here, and the mushroom with the mushroom stem farm over in this corner down here. There you go, I'll use this cursor so you can actually see it a bit better than that other one. Yeah, and obviously we have the corridors here, here, and here. Obviously it's not much so far, but I figured if I make the map, then we can plan out what's going to go where and how far out this is going to go. And these bits here, these grey bits where there looks like there's corridors but there isn't, it's just where corridors are going to go. Like here I'm going to have it branch off so we can have more stuff go this way and that way. And then this way I can at least, you know, kind of plan out where rooms are going to go without just trying to do it and then end up maybe running into a room I've already built when I go to build a new one. I wasn't going to mention it, but one thing that I am slightly concerned about is the fact that so far I don't really go into the storage room very much. Granted, I haven't put all of my things into storage because I don't have labels for all of the chests yet. But at the moment, the only things I really do is go to the iron farm and go to the console room. And that's about it in terms of when we are actually inside of the TARDIS. Hopefully that's going to change once we get some more stuff in here. Like, for example, if I do end up getting some more stuff over in this area above and to the sides of the storage room, then obviously we're going to go that way a lot more often than we are doing now. But yeah, also the stuff that isn't built but I've planned to build, I can also turn off. Like so. This is what we have. This is what I've so far planned. It's basically nothing. Like I said, it's just the corridors. This bit over here, I've decided is going to be the library, I think, because I don't want the library to be too far away. I want it to be grand, and I want it to be awesome, and I want to go there a lot. So I don't want it to be too far from the console room. I don't quite know how big it's going to be. I don't think it's going to go this deep, like, before turning off. I want it to maybe open up like that. That was a beautifully straight line. Wow. And come down there, and then maybe, you know, big old grand room like that. I don't know. Ignore the fact that it's not straight. obviously. But then like it'll also I want it to have multiple floors. Maybe it would have to go down because obviously we're already very close to the surface, unless we push it back maybe, and then over here we kind of have the area go down like we have the stairs down here. That is the only thing with putting the library too close to the console room. It's kind of limited in terms of the Y level and where it has to be, because the console room is obviously right underneath the surface of the Victorian London area. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you in terms of this. When it comes to building new rooms, I'll probably build them on here, and then I will show you guys it, and then I will build it on the actual server when it comes to building them. Just so we can kind of see what's going on in my head before we actually build it physically. But yeah, so the aim is, like I said, to try and move away from the console room and try and hopefully move this way. We can have some stuff this way as well, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I need more of a reason to go to and through my storage room. So we definitely want some more stuff over in this direction. I do have a few ideas for the rooms that I want to include in the TARDIS. I want an armory, I want a games room, I want like a, like a spleef arena and stuff, because why not? And maybe like a maze, because that's always fun. Not every room that we have in the TARDIS has to be strictly functional, it can just be fun and aesthetic, obviously. Like maybe we can have a museum, we can have an archery range. Obviously we will have more farms and stuff, but there's no fun if everything's practical and useful. You know, there needs to be some rooms that are just fun. I did want a wardrobe because the TARDIS in the show does have a wardrobe, but if I'm gonna have an armory, do I really need a wardrobe as well? Because I'm not gonna be able to make it look very good. I can at least have a head museum for like mop heads and stuff. But also the big project that I do really want to do at some point, if there's time on this server, maybe it'll have to wait for the next world, but is have a terrarium. A huge area that's made to look like outside and be teeming with plants and wildlife. I don't know if it'd look good, but it's a big project and it's just something that I can picture being in my head and it just being a lot of fun. Like its own little world. But like I said, it's a huge project. And hopefully we can do it at some point. Maybe. So we'll see. Anyway, coming back onto the Dogcraft server, I have changed the roof again, and I think it's much better this time. So what I did was with these diorite and calcite bits, kind of the borders of the roof, triangles. I don't know the words. I'm not an architect. But anyway, these bits made out of diorite and calcite. I made them taller. I made them a bit taller, going up 2 blocks at a time instead of 1, and I do think that bit definitely looks so much better. Looks better there, looks better while flying up there, and it definitely looks better from down here too. Just to stop it from being quite as flat, I also put these staircases on. I don't know if I want all of them, I don't know if I need more, I don't know if I need less, maybe just the top one, or if I need them there and there too, on all of the different sides of it as well. But it's definitely better than it was before, so that is good. And then the roof's tricky, because I like what I've done here, with these bits going back from the points and then like this bit also going up, because that's what some roofs look like on these kinds of buildings. But a problem arises because this isn't a square, because the wall comes in here, then we have the corner, and then it goes in again here. It's not a square, so we end up with this really awkward diagonal where this because these should be stairs, right? And then this part meets the roof here, but this part meets the roof here, so the diagonal isn't perfectly symmetrical, because of the fact that these walls are not actually straight, which means from afar it does end up looking a little bit goofy, and I can't quite seem to rectify it perfectly. I can't figure out what I should be doing instead. I do think it was a good choice going with the the polished deep slate slabs instead of the deep slate tiles. I think that the deep slate tiles are definitely way too dark for this. Like, they probably look also fine, but I do think that the slightly lighter color of the polished deep slate is what we should go with for this roof here. But yeah, I'm gonna have to play around a little bit more with the shape and gradients of this section of the roof, but for now that is all the time that I'm gonna have for today, guys. I do hope that you've enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you think of the base so far, and do not forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.